Assalamualaikum dear students, welcome to today's video class. We have almost completed this lesson wherein we have talked about the fundamental rights given under the Constitution of India. As we know, the fundamental rights are the basic rights given under the Indian Constitution. In the fundamental rights, we have discussed some of the important rights that have been guaranteed by Indian Constitution. These fundamental rights include right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, cultural and educational rights, right to freedom of religion, right to constitutional remedies. We have discussed all these rights one by one. Now, our today's topic is expanding scope of rights. We began this chapter by discussing the significance of these fundamental rights. In much of chapter, we have focused only on fundamental rights in the constitution. Fundamental rights, as we know, are the basic rights in the constitution. You might think that fundamental rights granted by constitution are only rights citizens have. This is not true. While fundamental rights are the source of all rights, our constitution and law offers a wider range of rights in addition to these basic rights or fundamental rights. Over the years of scope of rights has expanded. Sometimes it leads to expansion in the legal rights that the citizens can enjoy. From time to time, courts have judgments to expand the scope of rights. That means these rights are basic rights. On the basis of these fundamental rights, some more rights has been guaranteed from time to time, and these rights have provided base for other rights. For example, a right to information, right to freedom of press, and right to education. These are the rights that has been derived from the fundamental rights given under the Constitution of India. Now, school education has become a right for Indian citizen. So the we can say a right to education or school education has the became a right for Indian citizens. These are some of the rights that we can say these fall into the expanding scope of the fundamental rights. Therefore, these rights has expanded only on the basis of the fundamental rights that were guaranteed under Indian Constitution. In the so in this part of lecture, in this part of topic, the expanding scope of rights include the addition of some more rights guaranteed under Indian Constitution. These are the right to freedom of press, the right to information, and right to education that the Constitution provides guarantee to its citizens, that every citizen has an equal right to get their wards or get themselves educated under Indian Constitution. And another expanding form of the fundamental rights uh, we can say the expanding um, expanding scope of these fundamental rights include the right to information, where in every individual or every citizen has got a valid right to get information regarding any departmental inquiry, any of the information sought for any purpose from the government offices or other organizations. uh, this is called right to information. And another thing is, another right which is included in the expanding scope of right is a right to freedom of press. That is the uh, the press include radio, television, newspapers, journals, etc. These include these are the sources to provide information, to provide news regarding the various issues, regarding the various social issues in our country. So the freedom is uh, supposed to be the press is supposed to be free uh, from any of the interference due to the government or other organization that may cause any sort of disturbance into their functioning. So the press, as you know, is the medium of information, and under Indian constitution there is a freedom for its functioning, and this freedom is guaranteed under Indian constitution. So the in the expanding scope of rights, the new rights uh, has been enhanced, the new rights has been introduced, and these rights are, for example, right to freedom of press, right to information, right to education. In right to education, the governments are responsible for providing free and compulsory education to all children up to age of 14 years. This is right to this is right to education, wherein the government whereunder the government are responsible for providing free and compulsory education to all children up to age of 14 years. Right to education became a fundamental right under Article 21 A के अंडर राइट टू एजुकेशन को एक फंडामेंटल राइट का दर्जा दिया गया है बाई 86th अमेंडमेंट इन 2002। 2002 में 86th अमेंडमेंट के अंडर राइट टू एजुकेशन को फंडामेंटल राइट्स का दर्जा दिया गया था। राइट टू एजुकेशन एज ए फंडामेंटल राइट बिकेम ऑपरेशनल, यानी कि ये जो राइट है, राइट टू एजुकेशन, इट बिकेम ऑपरेशनल, इट बिकेम फंक्शनल फ्रॉम अप्रैल 2010। अप्रैल 2010 से ये फंक्शनिंग में आ गया। नाउ द स्टेट इज़ टू प्रोवाइड, अब गवर्नमेंट का ये फ़र्ज़ है, गवर्नमेंट की ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि वो फ्री एंड कंपलसरी एजुकेशन तमाम बच्चों को प्रोवाइड करे between the age group of 6 to 14 years. So this was all about the in expanding scope of rights. In the expanding scope of rights, we have talked about some of the new rights that has been introduced on the basis of fundamental rights. These rights are that has been introduced under the expanding scope of rights are right to freedom of press, right to information, right to education. In right to education, we know the government are responsible for providing free and compulsory education to all children अप टू एज ऑफ 14 ईयर्स, यानी 14 साल की उम्र तक तमाम बच्चों को फ्री एंड कंपलसरी एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करना एक गवर्नमेंट का फ़र्ज़ है और ایک گورنمنٹ کی رسپانسبلٹی ہے. اور یہ جو رائٹ ہے، رائٹ ٹو ایجوکیشن، اٹ بیکیم فنڈامنٹل رائٹ انڈر آرٹیکل 21A. 21A آرٹیکل کے تحت اس کو فنڈامنٹل رائٹس کا درجہ دیا گیا بائی 86th امینڈمنٹ ان 2002، یعنی 2002 میں 86th امینڈمنٹ کیا گیا کانسٹیٹیوشن میں، اور اس کو فنڈامنٹل رائٹس کا درجہ دیا گیا ہے. رائٹ ٹو ایجوکیشن جو ہے یہ بیکیم آپریشنل، یعنی کہ یہ فنکشننگ میں آ گیا فرام اپریل 2010 میں. تو جس کے اندر اب اسٹیٹ کو یعنی گورنمنٹ کو یہ حق بنتا ہے کہ وہ فری اینڈ کمپلسری ایجوکیشن پرووائڈ کرے تمام بچوں کو جو 6 اور 14 ایئرس کے، جو 6 اور 14 سال کی عمر کے درمیان جن کی ایج ہو. So this was all about today's video class. In next class we will discuss about right to information. This comes also under the expanding scope of rights. So till next class, stay blessed, stay at home. Allah Hafiz.